Welcome guys to another video. Today I'll be talking about why consoles are really bad, especially when you compare them to PC. Now, I don't understand why this is a controversial opinion because I think that's basically, just the most logical, thing to kind of reason out. But, I kind of want to explain myself. Now, the main thing, the kind of main argument that I want to use is that on consoles, on Xbox, and I also understand on PlayStation, but I know definitively that on Xbox, you have to pay to play online. Like, what kind of a scam is that? Like imagine you buy your internet, like you go to your internet service provider, you make that subscription, you purchase the internet, you go to the store, next door in the mall. You buy your console. You buy, I don't know, like some game or whatever, Forza, I don't know, or like Call of Duty. You go to your friggin' your house. You set everything up. You also have bought a TV and everything else, and you also bought a maybe a customized controller. You log on, and you have to pay an Xbox Live subscription just to play with your friends. Like, what kind of a scam is that? Like, you don't have to do any of that on PC. On PC, you buy your PC. You don't even need a good monitor. You just plug in like some shitty keyboard and mouse. You go to Steam. You purchase. I don't know. You don't even have to purchase. You can, I don't know, download like freaking CS:GO or something if you want, and you can play, and you don't need to pay anything at all. No subscriptions, nothing. Only the internet thing, and even that you can go to maybe like a coffee shop if you have a laptop or something, or steal your parents' Wi-Fi, and that just works perfectly. Not on console, no. You have to pay for a freaking subscription just to play online. That's single like kind of thing that you have to like pay a subscription for. That is like so scammy in itself that that's like that sole argument. You can just say consoles suck, and you don't even have to like explain yourself further. uh, but I digress, and I will explain myself further because most people they don't need only one argument. So uh, what else can I hate on? You kind of used to hate on consoles. Now, another point is that once you buy a console, you are totally kind of stuck with the hardware that you paid for. So I have an Xbox One S, which is now a pretty old console, and like kind of the worst thing that happened to me was like a couple of years ago. The Matrix demo came out, and guess what? You can't simply just install it and try it out because it's only for like Xbox XS edition, the new gen. Basically, you can play new games on older, generations, which is kind of logical. But the problem is that they don't like they what they should do is simply say it's gonna be buggy, but here you go anyway. Like on PC, like I have a terrible PC, and my PC doesn't meet almost all of the system requirements on the games I play. Like I play freaking Last of Us, Red Dead 2. My PC meets none of those requirements for those games, but it still handles those games just fine. Obviously on a bit lower settings and sometimes with issues, but I can still, enjoy the experience, and I don't have to buy a new computer just to do that. And if I kind of really need that performance boost, I can always just buy, I don't know, like a new GPU or a CPU, or, basically upgrade my PC. See, you can't do that on console. You can only do that on PC. And that's kind of one of the main reasons is upgradability. If I want to play, for example, GTA 6 comes out, I want to play on my Xbox, I can because my Xbox is an older generation. But on my PC, when it releases, it doesn't matter that my hardware is really outdated. I can still at least try. It's like the kind of that kind of thing. And another thing that I would say is that on consoles, you're kind of tied into the ecosystem on which you're um, of that company from which you bought the console. So, for example, you can play games like Last of Us, or PlayStation exclusive games on Xbox, and you can play Xbox exclusive games on PlayStation. And I'm not even going to mention Nintendo because that's just obvious. And yeah, you kind of just tied into one ecosystem, which is not, it's not good on PC. Sure, on PC there are games that, for example, a while ago you couldn't play Last of Us on PC because that was a PlayStation only game. Oh damn, they're really trying. But at least on PC, you kind of have a much wider variety of games. And I'm gonna be honest, you can get a PC for like I'm in Europe, so I'm gonna be talking European units, which is euros, and from European experience, I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but I know that in Europe you can get a decent PC that works for like 300 euros. My PC was 350 euros, and I've been using it for like a bit. Like I bought it like 3 years ago, I think, and it's been able to run everything. Like there hasn't been a game that I install and I just simply cannot play due to system limitations. Sure, there are games that have kind of system limitations, but I can always kind of optimize them and get them to play, which is something you just cannot do on consoles, and that's the kind of the reason why I think PC is superior and why consoles suck. If you have like 500 euros, what would you rather spend your money on? On a PC, which sure, on a PC there are some cons, which is that you don't get an optimized experience. You may have to use your brain and kind of fix problems yourself, but that's the kind of price of freedom. So if you have like 500 bucks or euros, whatever, and you can spend that on a console or a PC, I would always suggest getting a PC, because on PC you just have the ability to choose and to basically not be kind of controlled, Like ever since I got a PC, I've just been playing my Xbox less and less because uh you know my PC is just so much better. And I'm using Windows, which is not even the full extent of the abilities I can utilize my PC, because I still haven't installed Linux, which I will after Windows 10, because I'm not getting that Windows 11 crap. That's basically Xbox software. So um yeah, that's kind of that. And basically, on PC it's just, I kind of got off track right now, but PC is just so many more options. You can do everything yourself. You're not tied into an ecosystem. And on consoles, for example, you can only play, for example, regarding Minecraft, you can only play Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And I have Worlds on my Xbox, Minecraft Worlds, which I can't get to because Microsoft decided to kind of block them, and the only way to port them to PC is to buy like 5 subscriptions, which is like Xbox Game Pass. You need that, you need Xbox Live, and you need to pay for a Realms server, which I guess I maybe don't have to because um I have like that one free kind of Realms use. But like that's just, they kind of just removed the ability to simply plug in a USB, get a file, and just get your worlds, which is totally a scam. Basically, consoles are a scam, and I even they recently just made them more expensive, which is an even bigger scam, because like they're just more expensive. It's just kind of self-explanatory. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on why consoles suck. And I bet there's like a sea of things that I completely didn't mention regarding why one thing I forgot to mention is that many people kind of argue that on consoles you get you can like play with controller and have a more chillaxed experience. But the thing is that you can also play with controller on PC. You simply get a USB dongle. Yeah, you get a Bluetooth thing. You plug it into your PC. You connect your controller, and you can just play your games. You know, you don't even have to like. Oh crap! You don't even have to buy like a console to play with a controller. Actually, sometimes there are games that you can only play with a controller, like the Lego Lord of the Rings game, which I tried to play, but you know I had to connect my controller to play, which is like you know kind of shitty, but you know it is what it is, and you know yeah. So kind of in retrospective, PCs are just so much better, and consoles just suck so much. Just I mean, come on. The only good thing about consoles is the Game Passes, which I understand Xbox has a Game Pass, and the PlayStation has a Game Pass, but that's just another subscription. Sure, you get like I don't know a lot of games, but like whenever you stop paying the subscription, your games like you can play them, which is I just don't like that. I like when you can you buy a game and it doesn't matter if you keep paying or not. You just keep that game, you know. But yeah, I think it's just consoles went from being that cool experience where you just played games to kind of a corporate cash grab. Which I'm like I have a console, you know. This is not coming from a PC only guy. This is coming from a guy who had console and then got a PC and realized how great PC is because you know consoles are just such a scam. Like goddamn. Like if you have the ability, damn, if you have the ability to buy a PC, just get a PC. Okay, you can play all of the games that are on console on PC. Like at least as far as I know. Like especially now you have Last of Us that you can play on PC. You have friggin' I don't know like. I don't know which games are like exclusive on console, but whatever. I just know you can play everything on PC, um, and you get more control. And you can even like choose your operating system. Like you can actually choose which operating system you want to use. You can use Windows, or you can get one of the various Linux distributions. By the way, check out PewDiePie's new video if you want to see how cool Linux actually is. Yeah, so I don't know. PC, it's so much better. Plus, on PC, you get to use a mouse and keyboard, which, in my opinion, for games like, for example, Bed Wars, is just required. And on consoles, that PC, what was it? No, not PC. Keyboard and mouse setup is really rare. For example, I have a keyboard and mouse, but I still can't play for shit. But whatever. On like friggin' on Xbox, it's like only a few games have keyboard and mouse support, which is like it's so bad because you can't like use keyboard and mouse on so many games. It's like, what is this? What is this scam? Like it takes like I don't know, like a day to implement that. You know, it's like those games have that support on PC. Why can't you have that on console? It's just it's so goofy. So yeah, I don't know. PC is just this is not just simply I'm not just simply trying to glorify PC. I'm also kind of trying to explain why consoles are so bad. You know, this video is about why consoles suck, and you know, not why PC is so good. You know, that's kind of the main point. But I just kind of wanted to explain that with a comparison to what you like. Why why would you get a console if you can get a PC? Because PC is like the uh, best experience for gaming, especially. And especially now with Valve becoming much less like corporate greedy, it's like you don't have Steam on Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo for that matter. Which I'm not even gonna start getting into Nintendo, which I hate that company. Like, sure, they have good games, but like, did I kill him? No, I did not. Um, which like, yeah, but that company is just so greedy, and I just don't. I hate Nintendo. And Switch too. Like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to kind of get into that right now, but I hate the Switch too. It looks so bad. They basically made like a Steam Deck. Like they took the Switch, which was a beautiful looking console, and they just made some crappy AliExpress version of it. Like, come on, where's the color? Like, they just made a soulless like. I don't want to get into design details or something like that. I don't want to also get in, hateful. I just kind of want to point out that you can't trust in companies, and to buy products that are entirely kind of made by companies and companies control everything, that's not the best idea because, companies control everything. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed my rant about why I don't like consoles and why PC is so much better. Damn, they're sweaty. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, comment your thoughts. I would love to hear some feedback on my videos. Not only on what I say, because I say some controversial things, which is always bound to get some comments, but and dislikes. But I also want to kind of get your opinion on, video quality in general, mic audio quality, thumbnail quality, everything like that. Yeah, basically feedback on everything if you can. I love communicating with my community. It's very rewarding to speak to people and hear that somebody's actually investing time into my content, which is it's the best feeling ever. Communicating like that. God damn, this guy's good. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe. I already said this. And not to waste any more of your time, but bye.